Good morning, agents, and welcome to another daily episode of Target Loot today for Wednesday, November 18th. In this series, we covered the Target Loot map, Dark Zone exclusives, highlights for the weekly vendors, build and farming suggestions, and much more. I'm Agent Shadow, and if you enjoy this video, consider rating it with a thumbs up, and of course, subscribe and hit that bell notification icon so you never miss a daily or build video. Alright, agents, let's get this morning started. Alright guys, so really it's unfortunate that I looked at all the vendor reset stuff, which you can always find in the video description below. There's an awesome Ruben, this guy makes this awesome website that I highly suggest going and checking out. It has all the Cassie and vendor reset stuff on it. Now of course, there isn't really anything worth it. There is nothing at Cassie I'd recommend, but at the clan vendor you could get the Cold Relations. It's a PP19 SMG that's kind of slept on, so you might want to pick that up for a Hunter's Fury or SMG build. Otherwise, in the Dark Zone West, there is a rock and roll shotgun with perfectly extra on it that I would highly recommend picking up. You know, it could be better than the mop with that 10% armor on kill, just because it's a fully automatic shotgun with like 30 rounds in the magazine or the drum. So I would pick that up for sure. It's 152 DZ resources. Otherwise, you can go ahead and farm Grupo Sombro for the Door Kicker's Knock with Perfect Spark. It's a chest piece that's a DZ exclusive. Now over here in DZ South, you obviously have LMGs as targeted loot. The only DZ exclusive LMG is the Black Friday with Perfectly Unhinged. You can also pick that up as well, although I never use it. It gives you, I believe, an extra 28% weapon damage, and you lose handling on it. And then over here in DZ East, you got Petrov. There's nothing worth farming here for, so that's a DZ exclusive. So let's go ahead and check out the north side highlights now. Alright, agents, we're over here on the north side target loot highlights. So starting off with Camp White Oak, Tip of the Spear. Highly don't really recommend it. I mean, it's a really niche build for, you know, specializations. Like, that's pretty much it. So I would move on from that. We got Overlord at Coney Island Amusement Park, though. If you didn't get those Fox's Pair knee pads from the clan vendor last week, you could farm here for the Fox's Pair knee pads with 8% damage to targets out of cover. And then that's about it, really, that I'd recommend. Kinley College is back open for another 5 days. And the summit, of course, you can pick your own targeted loot. So let's go check out what we got on the west side. Alright, agents. So we're over here on the west side targeted loot highlights. And to get started, I'm just going to mention off the gear sets first. And then we'll move on to the normal targeted loot. I don't really recommend strikers, but you can use it 3 pieces for an extra rate of fire on maybe a merciless build or any other build where you need extra rate of fire. Eclipse Protocol at Constitutional Hall today. You know, if you guys still need any pieces of Eclipse Protocol for a good fire damage build, which I'll link in the top right card right now, then go for it. There's like 3 or 4 control points here you could farm for, and they're all manhunts as well. Got aces and eights at Downtown West. That's definitely worth farming for if you don't have the right pieces, because you usually want 3 or 4 pieces with a couple pieces of Arelda Holding and a Chain Killer chest piece for a really good headshot damage build. And of course, Foundry Bulwark at Bank HQ. You can farm for this, but remember the chest and the backpack are raid exclusives. Alright, now going on to normal loot, we got Hana Yu over here at DARPA Research Labs. Of course, everybody knows the Force Multiplier backpack with Perfect Combined Arms. It's going to be huge in TU12 because skill power is going to be what it's all about in Title Update 12. And that backpack with skill haste and skill damage rolled onto it is going to be an absolute monster, and you're going to want to have that rolled as best as possible for when TU12 comes out. Now, we got holsters at West Atomic Park. You can, of course, get 2 exotic holsters and a named one, which is the Dodge City holster, the Imperial Dynasty holster, and the Forge holster, which gives you 50% extra shield health. So that's a whole extra skill tier towards your shield. Imperial Dynasty just sets people on fire, I think every minute or minute and a half. And then the Dodge City holster gives headshot damage to any part on the body from a pistol. Now, we got some machine guns at Foggy Bottom. There's 3 exotic SMGs you can farm for. That is the Lady Death, the Chatterbox, and the Backfire. The Lady Death you can of course farm for, you know, just period. Chatterbox, you need to complete the quest, and if you haven't, I'll put a video guide on the top right now to show you how to complete the quest. And the Backfire, you need to get it from the Season 3 reward track. Otherwise, the named SMGs you can get are the Dark Winter and the Apartment, but those are Dark Zone exclusives, so it needs to be targeted loot in one of the Dark Zones for SMGs. For a named SMG, you can get the Safety Distance with Perfect Outsider, the Swap Chain, and I believe you can also get the Grudge, which is great for status effects builds as well. We got rifles at Potomac Event Center, so you can farm for, of course, the Diamondback and the Merciless. Those would be the two exotic that you can farm for, rifles. Otherwise, I would just get a classic M1A or the Surge with 25% skill damage added for perfect spike. But yeah, just remember the best rifle damage talents are Boomerang, Rifleman, and Ranger. And that's just how you always run a rifle that's, not an exotic. That pretty much looks to be it for this side of the DC area. Let's go check out what we got on the east side. Alright, agents, we're over here on the east side, target loot highlights. So starting off with the gear sets, we got Hunter's Fury at Jefferson Trade Center. So of course, everybody knows SMG and shotgun damage build. I got probably 4 Hunter's Fury builds. I'll put one on the top right card now. That's my favorite. On top of that, you can get a chance to drop the Coyote's mask at Jefferson Trade Center because Coyote, the boss at the end, does have a chance of dropping it. Or you can farm it here at Federal Triangle for masks. There's 2 exotic masks, the Coyote's mask and, of course, the Vile mask. Otherwise, you can farm for the Punch Drunk mask with 20% headshot damage baked right into it. But I would farm Douglas and Harding at Space Administration HQ if you're looking for that Punch Drunk mask in specific. We got True Patriot at Viewpoint Museum. So True Patriot is an amazing build. You can build it with LMGs, you can build it with SMGs, pretty much anything, ARs as well. I have an SMG True Patriot build I'll put in a top right card right now. That's just, I can't recommend it enough, besides my DPS hybrid build, my ultimate one with the Hunter's Fury. But yeah, this is what I would highly recommend. It's mixed with the Memento backpack and a Sokolov chest with Intimidate, and just shreds through content. You're pretty much invincible, basically. And then Ongoing Directive at American History Museum is a bleed damage build. So of course you're going to run that with Ridgeway's Pride to make it really easy to always have your enemies bleeding and you're always getting those hollow points. So running 4 Ongoing Directive with the Ridgeway's Pride, and never ever go without that Eclipse backpack, because that Eclipse Protocol backpack gives you 30% amplified damage, and there's nothing that's better than that. And that's it for the gear set areas. Now, normal targeted loot, I would recommend Providence Defense at Capitol Building Stronghold today because it is optional, but you can do this on Legendary for your best god rolls possible. Otherwise, you can pick up the Sacrifice with Perfect Glass Cannon, amplifying all damage by 30%, but all incoming damage by 60% to yourself. Assault Rifles at Air and Space. What I would recommend is picking up the exotic Chameleon. It is a True Sons mission, so, if it was Black Tusk, it would have a little bit of a higher drop rate chance. But overall, farming Assault Rifles for the Chameleon, you just need targeted loot for ARs. But the best weapon damage talents, the best Assault Rifles that you can get in this game would be the FAMAS, the Military AKM, the Carbine 7, and the Police M4. Those are the 4 best Assault Rifles in this game. We got Badger Tough over here at Judiciary Square, so you could farm for the 0F's chest piece with Perfect Unbreakable. That one's just kind of a no-brainer. I mean, if you can get a really good roll on that chest piece, it's definitely worth farming for. It goes great in a lot of builds, but I'll put a really, really good example in the top right card right now of a build that I put it on that just shreds content. We got gloves at Grand Washington Hotel. You could farm for the exotic BTSU gloves. And of course, you could farm for the Petrov exclusive, named gloves, the contractor's gloves with 8% damage to armor baked into them. And yeah, that looks to be it for the east side. Let's go check out what we got on the New York City targeted loot side of things. Alright, agents, we're lastly at New York City targeted loot highlights, and we only got 1 gear set item. That's Future Initiative at Wall Street. That's great for healer builds, don't get me wrong, but the chest and backpack are raid exclusive. So you usually want to mix this 4 pieces with either a chest with, like an Alp Summit chest with Empathetic Resolve, or a backpack with Safeguard on it. We do got gear system mods at Financial District. For anyone that's looking for max god rolled mods, you want to farm that on Heroic or Open World. We got chest pieces at Pathway Park. So there's 2 exotic chest pieces that you can get. That would be the Ridgeway's Pride and of course the Tardigrade. Now, the Ridgeway's Pride, you got to complete the project first, so keep that in mind, or someone can drop it for you that already has it. So ask nicely and, try to figure out who has it and who doesn't, and, just complete the project if you don't want to have someone just give it to you. We got shotguns at Stranded Taker, so of course you can get the Sweet Dreams exotic shotgun with Sandman talent on it. You can one-hit anything that's below an elite, so reds and purples. Otherwise, 3 best shotguns in this game is the Mop with 10% armor on kill, Custom Inmate 70, and of course the Marine Super 90, and I always roll close and personal on it. That gives you over 30% weapon damage pretty much all the time. Sokolov over here at the Tombs, I'd highly recommend farming that today if you need a good piece of Sokolov for all my SMG players out there. Otherwise, that's all I recommend for New York City. Alright agents, well that was the target loot for today. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe, like, and share if you enjoyed my content. If you would like to become a member, you can click the join button below for extra support and exclusive perks. Otherwise, there's also a Shadow Gaming merchandise store you can go to by clicking the link in the pinned comment and video description below. You can support me on alt tech like Patreon and Subscribestar, or really, you could support me by clicking the install links for the Raid Shadow Legends links. That would be awesome as well. That really helps me out and allows me another sponsor maybe in a week or two. And of course, really the best way though is just watching me to the very end. That's really the best way to support me. Whitelist me on your ad blocker if you use one. Thank you so much guys for watching, and stay tuned for more daily Division 2 content. This is Agent Shadow signing off. I will see you in the next video. Take care, agents.